This is my third time recording, I swear. No, fourth, as you mean. Again? Dude, this freaking game. I swear on God, this game is freaking trash, bro. Like, bro, I'm not about to die again, dog. No, bro, I'm not dying. God, just freaking go. Liberera. See, it froze again. That's the main reason why I'm dying, bro. It keeps freezing.
Stop suffering from melasma. More than 600,000 people have regained their confidence with using these prescription treatments.
Mom, you said that multiple times.
I looked at myself in the mirror and I just thought, I'm back. I can tell everybody about it.
Find the real you again. Go to usually.com/treatment.
As I got older, I couldn't walk past my shoulders. People have different formulas for all the different changes so many women go through.
Within 3 months, my hair is significantly fuller.
It's longer, it's thicker.
My friends noticed it. I felt like a completely different person.
Try the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com.
Julie Harper is walking on air.
Again, bro.
A jury deadlocked on second like sweet victory. As she let's try again. Of course, first-degree murder was off the table now, but he could go for a lesser charge of second-degree murder.
Dude, this place needs to be redesigned.
A new trial date was set for
Go! Oh my God!
2015. And then, 1 month before that trial was to begin, surprise! Julie had some astonishing news for the judge.
The retrial for a Carlsbad woman accused of killing her husband. Her attorney says she is pregnant.
7 months pregnant.
She intentionally in order to interfere with our retrial.
Really that devious in the mind?
She's really that devious and well-planned and manipulative.
What's more, Julie's pregnancy was highly intentional. In vitro fertilization. The judge, no choice really,
Can y'all go?
delayed Julie's trial
Stop
for
camping?
5 months. And Josephine Faith Zinat was born on April 29, 2015. No father listed on her birth certificate. The neighbors at Badger Lane watched and wondered.
She decided she was going to walk the baby in the stroller through the bed, and that was
Nothing was happening to her. Everything was fine.
Everything's
And
fine.
she's, my life 2.0.
Well, not quite, of course. In September 2015, Julie, the
Eek.
judge, the attorney, all
Remember,
signed
rah-rah,
for a
this
brand
game is
new
so
trial.
goofy.
12 new strangers to win over. Except this time, Prosecutor Watanabe knew what was coming for Julie. And so he canvassed the witnesses. Did they ever see signs of abuse? This is Jason's mother, Lila.
Did Julie appear in any way to be fearful to you?
No.
Did you see any bruises or marks on her?
No.
Julie and Jason's eldest son, Jake, by this time 11, on the state of the marriage.
Tell me about the argument became worse.
It just escalated.
Even though the argument became worse, did you ever see your dad hit your mom there?
No.
Major Michelle Cullen saw Jason and Julie together 5 days before Jason's death.
Did you ever see anything that led you to believe that she was being physically abused?
No, never.
But Julie's sister Amy said Julie did confide in her that Jason was physically abusing her.
Jason had become very, very angry, was constantly yelling at her, would grab her by her wrists and twist them.
Nothing about rape, though. So why would the jury believe Julie's claim that Jason did rape her violently and repeatedly? When Julie testified, she asked the jury to look at entries in her private journal and daytime. Whenever they saw the word sex, the jury, that was code.
Think that you had forced sex?
Yes.
Prosecutor Watanabe, of course, didn't believe that. But when he challenged her, was this real emotion?
Now, have you ever called the police on Jason for any of these incidents?
No, I was very embarrassed. I was very embarrassed that he was doing it. I didn't want my family to know. I didn't want my neighbors to know. I didn't want my friends to know.
Manipulation or the
defendant, Julie Harper, guilty of the crime of murder and fix the degree thereof as murder in the second degree.
Guilty of second-degree murder. On went the handcuffs, just like that. Jury number 2 was not at all like jury number 1. No doubt at all.
No, not at all. No.
What about the secret recording? Jason yelling at Julia.
The neighbors were horrible anyways.
And how about that diary, in which the word sex was supposed to mean rape?
So it would say sex when we went to the west to find Jared House, had flamed in the arm. Or sex and cuddling, and then we talked and cuddled more.
Stop. Can you stop laughing? I don't know why I laugh. I really don't.
And he found this Glock 17 by her body. It was the same gun Levi said he'd given her for protection. And beside the bed, on a nightstand, there was a 3-word note. I'm sorry, Levi. Jones quickly determined that Tara hadn't been a victim of crime, but had turned the gun on herself. She was only 86.
We do have a lot of suicides out there. Unfortunately, Valencia County has a high rate of suicides. Not uncommon. The uncommon part of it is the fact that it's actually survived.
Within minutes, members of Levi's own police department in neighboring Albuquerque came over to the house to offer Levi support. As the news of Tara's death spread, one officer's wife called Tara's best friend Melanie.
She just came out and said it. Tara's dead. And it took me a minute to process it. And I was like, what do you mean? I don't understand.
At the scene, police saw an inconsolable husband.
That referred himself as a piece of crap.
Jones, the local detective, took a statement from Levi, the big city cop, prepared him sorely. He told Jones he blamed himself for Tara's suicide. His wife was prone to drama and depression, he said, but at times he didn't take it seriously. Now it was too late. The detective did his best to bring a weeping Levi under control.
Whatever is going on right now, take a deep breath.
You're trying to make this guy feel better.
I am. I was concerned that possibly my sympathy and empathy was gone to the point afraid that he might hurt himself too.
Officer looked at the scene in the bedroom and stumbled on something. Tara, the writer, had kept a journal tucked under her mattress.
Parts of it were very dark. It described a young woman that was having some dark times in her life.
Tara had laid bare the depths of her despair, writing, "Sometimes I want to just disappear, and I'm depressed. I want to fall off the face of the earth. Every day I feel my time and work, kids, and endlessly trying to make my marriage work. I'm getting nowhere. I never do." That sounds like depression.
Classic depression.
Buried in a trash can. And Levi showed Detective Jones something else. A text. A text from Tara earlier that day.
Says, "I'm afraid I'm going to hurt myself. I'm so S-O-O-O. Upset, sad, hurt."
Open and shut. By 2 a.m., police were wrapping up their work at the Chavez house, and Detective Jones headed to Tara's parents' home to break the news.
He introduced the deputy and the chopper. He said, "It's about your daughter. So I'm ready for him in a week. What do you think?"
I thought there was a terrible traffic accident. I never thought to hear otherwise.
I asked him what happened, and Aaron Jones said it's your parents' suicide.
Possibly the most painful news a family can ever hear. But the Cordovas weren't prepared to accept it, and they felt a deep conviction that no one outside this family saw coming.
What did you hear? Suicide.
No.
That girl loved those children. And I knew right then and there that she would not take her life and leave those children behind.
Coming up, heartbreak and disbelief.
Tara I knew. I never would have in a million years thought that she was her life.
Something about it, just thinking about it started stinking.
When Dateline continues.
What do you think? With Cambridge, it's not just a presentation. But a way to generate size and sound.
It's not just a pitch script, but your way to leave a lasting impression. Anytime, anywhere.
It's not just visuals.
Not just design. It's design for work.
So, I hear some of you are concerned about the fact that I'm taking over the company. Well, rest assured, the company's in great hands. Homes.com, we've done your homework. Now that is worth celebrating.
I love it. Thank you.
Homework, very clever, very clever. Homes.com.
Smoky bacon. Meaty bacon. Tasty bacon. Bacon. Oh, I love it.
Dogs go bonkers for bacon. And try new bacon flavor sticks.
This guy's gay. I had to.
Family and friends are seeing sadness in this tight New Mexico community. Tara Chavez, the wife of an Albuquerque police officer, had died by suicide.
I laid there and cried.
It's the worst thing that could happen to anybody.
What did Levi say to you that day? Remember?
He didn't say. He was too emotional. He couldn't speak.
But along with the shock, Tara's best friend was overcome with a sense of disbelief.
Part of me was like, no, this isn't right. This isn't what happened. They're lying. It's not true.
And that's exactly what Tara's parents were telling the detective who'd come to their home with that terrible news. For one thing, they told him there was simply no way Tara would leave her children. You would not be the first family who loved her. Darker passages in that journal were several years old.
Her journal, I think, was an outlet for her, just to vent sometimes.
Cordova is Tara's sister-in-law.
I mean, I'm married, I have kids. Sometimes I just want to disappear. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to harm myself in any way.
And the very last entry, 3 months before her death, suggests welcome new day, happiness.
I think the last statement within her diary said
Is this guy gonna find me or what?
Happiness.
And her family says she had lots to be happy about. Tara was finally making plans to open that new hair salon she had long dreamed of. She was even starting to look at real estate.
She was so excited to do it.
Gina says Tara had an appointment to look at this location.
Dude,
with
this
her
guy
dad,
scared me, bro.
scheduled for just 2 days after her death.
She was thinking about how
Kind of food.
she was going to decorate and how it was going to be, girly, and she was just really excited about it.
That's the Tara her brother Aaron saw all the time. And he says just 2 days before she died, Tara had sent him this funny video of her kids.
They were dancing around the shop, just being goofy, joking around, and it was pretty funny, actually.
Nothing on that video to suggest that she was in a miserable place.
There's a little second in there on that video that you see her, and she's laughing because her daughter and her little boy are just being goofballs,
And Tara's best friend Melanie reread the last text Tara had sent that same time.
Just said hi. I haven't talked to you all day.
Could you just conceive of her taking her life?
It's not the Tara I
When's it
knew.
gonna be daytime,
I never
bro?
would have in a million years ever seen or expected or thought that she would ever take her life.
Melanie and the Cordovas say their instincts were telling them something was wrong in that suicide scene at the house. And they let Detective Jones know it. I talked to Aaron Jones. I don't think he believed you.
No, I'm sure he didn't.
It looked like a suicide.
Without looking at it and digging into it.
To begin with, Jones knew from experience that bedroom scene was very unusual. Women make up just 10% of 10 suicides. And he wondered about that recent break-in attempt and Levi's stolen truck. Had someone been searching the neighborhood? Maybe targeting the officer's house?
I wanted to check and make sure that there wasn't any kind of indication of any kind of break-in or that maybe somebody else had done this.
But nothing seemed to be missing from the house, and Jones could find no sign of forced entry. Still, he went back to the photos from the bedroom, started noticing things. like what appeared to be a swipe of blood on the bed.
What could that smear of blood on the bed sheets indicate? Well, it could have indicated the fact that that she did commit suicide, and the fact that the person that fired that fatal round would have had blood on their hands.
And the detective remembered something else from that night that now struck him as odd. A red substance in a toilet on the other side of the house. Was it Tara's blood? And if so, how did it get there?
You're in a situation where someone's died, they certainly didn't get out of bed and go bleed in the toilet.
Jones also focused on that gun and noticed the patterns of blood on it. To the detective, it looked like whoever had fired it. Suicide, or could it be homicide? Jones turned all of it over in his mind. He even handled the gun himself.
You physically put a Glock in your own mouth? Oh, yeah. Unloaded, I hope.
The medical examiner, however, had ruled Tara's death a suicide the day after she was found. And the lid on this case might have been shut then and there. Jones hesitated.
It was written as a suicide. Unless I came up with something pretty contradictory to that, then my job is to write it up as a suicide in both cases.
And why didn't you?
Just couldn't do it. Just something about it, just things about it started sinking.
After 3 weeks of investigation, instead of closing the case, Jones asked the medical examiner to change the manner of death from suicide to undetermined. Now the hard part.
Coming up, it didn't take police long. Had a secret.
Yes. The triangle.
But was it a motive for murder? When Dateline continues.
The more Detective Aaron Jones looked at that scene where Tara Chavez died, something that seemed like the key to the case. Jones says that when he found the gun next to Tara, the magazine with the bullets wasn't locked in place. It had been partially released.
Suggesting what? Suggesting that the scene was tampered with. So if someone uses the gun to shoot Tara, the gun recycled, and then what? In putting the gun back?
But if Tara shot herself, then who shot her? Now Jones would have to delve into Tara's life and relationships. And soon, Jones learned that Tara had a secret.
She'd met another man.
Yeah.
Jones heard from Melanie and others that Tara and her husband had been growing apart for years. And 3 months before she died, Tara stepped over a line. His name was Nick Wheeler. Like Levi, he was another handsome police officer in the Albuquerque PD. Nick would get his hair cut by Tara every Thursday, and sparks flew.
What drew Tara to this guy, to Nick?
His personality. He treated her great. Another guy that comes in and
wow, bro.
Exactly.
And Nick,
He was married to a friend of ours.
Of yours and Tara?
It's a weird triangle. Messy triangle.
suddenly part of Detective Aaron Jones's investigation, and a tricky one. Jones and Nick Wheeler had been friends.
Back in like 2005, we worked together in the field. He was a very likable guy.
But Jones said he couldn't let that get in the way of his investigation. He was going to take a long, hard look at his friend. And he remembered something that now seemed suspicious. The night Tara was found, Nick had called him, digging for information.
Probably within an hour of me getting on the scene, I started getting texts and phone calls from him.
Nick wants to know what?
Well, I wasn't sure at first that he was just asking questions about what was going on and if I knew anything.
Was Nick concerned about keeping his affair with Tara under wraps or something else? Melanie told the detective that Tara had broken things off with Nick before she died, and told Melanie that he had not ended well.
Right? You know, we're both married. What we're doing is not a good thing.
Good conscience.
Doesn't sound like it.
Now, Jones thought Nick could be a potential suspect. So he and another detective visited Nick's home and didn't tell him the conversation was being recorded. Nick quickly admitted the affair. His wife Samantha was right there to hear all of it. Detective Jones found himself witnessing the kind of domestic argument that investigators hear about only after the fact. Then Samantha said something that surprised Jones. She had known all about the affair because Tara had confessed and apologized.
She was so nice, and I told her, I said, Tara, I'm not going to say anything until Nick tells me, because that's his responsibility as a husband. She said she wanted me to kill her. She wanted me to go after her and beat her ass. I told her I was never doing it, because I understand where she was coming from.
So, if you believe that, the two women in this love triangle had made peace. If you believe that.
Did you think it was possible that either Nick Weaver or his wife had killed Tara?
Absolutely.
Kind of love triangle, really, I did.
That left one more question about the man in the middle, Nick. Where was he that weekend Tara died?
He was her alibi and she was his.
Pretty much, yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily mean anybody's lying. Sometimes that's the way it works out.
It is, because they were a couple, and I knew from experience with them that they spent a lot of time, either with friends or family or with themselves at home.
The investigator says he didn't dismiss the Wheelers as potential suspects, but he had no evidence connected to his death. So Jones started
Investigators find out that Levi had a lot more to hide than his wife did. In fact, when it came to cheating, they'd never seen anything like it.
How many other women besides you was Levi found having an affair with?
10.
When Dateline continues.
Remember space and legend.
With Canva, it's not just a whiteboard, but a playground for ideas.
It's not just a doll, but a way to wow with words.
It's not just a presentation, but all the power of visual communication.
Every task, every teammate, every department. It's not just design. It's design for work.
So, how long have you lived here? And how are the restaurants around here? Are they good, bad, yeah?
Marcy, you gotta go! This party has 17,000 more parks to visit.
We bring you the best neighborhood info. Homes.com.
Tara's death was homicide and not suicide, then her husband Levi would be a natural suspect. But it didn't take long for Detective Aaron Jones to find out that when it came to Levi Chavez, the Albuquerque cop, there apparently was something about a man in uniform. Levi's a very charming guy.
He's a very charming guy.
He clearly knows how to talk to women. I knew about Tara's brief affair with Nick Wheeler. But it turns out he may have been carrying far more secrets than his late wife had. Levi was racking up so many infidelities, he could barely remember some of his girlfriends' names. Tara's friend Melanie says that kind of thing had been going on ever since high school.
And it wasn't just one girl, two girls, it was numerous girls.
So he never really stopped.
No.
Detective Jones tracked down this woman, Rose Slama, a married mother of 3. Rose says that at the time of Tara's death, she and Levi had been sleeping together for 2 years.
By the time I came around, I was shocked with number 3.
Number 3, you were the third affair you had?
No, it was in the phone when I opened it up. I was number 3 and I told the guy.
So Levi was open with you, not just that he was married, but he, in addition to being married, in addition to having a girlfriend, someone who was, what, a little higher up in the hierarchy than you were. And you were okay with that? Lovers while married was apparently nothing new for Levi, and Rose said Levi's multitasking skills made it all possible. How many other women besides you was Levi Chavez having an affair with?
Yeah.
You and 9 other women?
Yes.
How did Levi find the time to be with 10 different women and still presumably also, fight crime?
We were actually almost neighbors. We lived really close to each other.
That would be essential in a situation like that.
Yeah.
You couldn't have like a 1-hour commute to see somebody because there's like 9 others.
And I think a couple others lived around us.
Where did you and Levi usually meet up?
The running trail, the kids' school, my school, the duck ponds between our houses.
So there was a lot of meeting up outdoors.
Yeah, and then even if I went to his house and the kids were there, he would just pop in a movie and have the kids watch a movie, and we would take off and do adult things.
And Rose says those adult things didn't have anything. Love.
Just sex.
One time when Rose and Levi were together at his house, she noticed a photo near the bed.
I put 2 and 2 together, and I asked Levi, and he said, yeah, we're married.
Rose recognized the woman in the photograph because she knew Tara and had just figured out she was sleeping with her hairstylist's husband. And you say, great honey, lie down. Not, I gotta get out of here, this is weird.
It was a little weird, I'm not gonna lie, but there seemed to be no love lost between them. There was like no love there, so I didn't care.
Rose told Detective Jones a lot about her affair with Levi, but didn't seem to know anything useful about Tara's death. So Jones turned to others on Levi's speed dial, including Heather Hindy, a fellow cop in Levi's department. Jones interviewed Heather, but she didn't seem to have any leads. So he found Levi's more serious girlfriend at the time, another cop named Deborah Romero.
I think she believed that Levi was going to be
Levi had admitted to Jones in their very first conversation that he'd been with another woman. Part of Jones's investigation as he began to track Levi's whereabouts that weekend.
He said he hadn't been home until he discovered the body.
Right. The detective believed Tara had been killed sometime on Saturday night, and Levi's story was that he'd been on duty until midnight. Deborah confessed she was with Levi at the time he got off work that night until the following evening. So, lover as alibi. Maybe not a squeaky clean defense. and think. But Jones still had questions for Levi, so the next time Levi came to his office, Jones set up a camera to record their conversation without Levi knowing. He wanted to see how Levi would react to the suggestion that Tara had not killed herself.
Seems like you kind of caught him off guard. I did. I wanted to make him know that I had some concerns about some of the behavior that was going on.
At first, all pretty routine. Then Jones told Levi he suspected Tara had been murdered.
I mean, do you understand why this whole thing was like that?
No, I really don't.
And I really honestly believe it's a suicide. But the problem is, somebody killed your wife.
I don't know. That wasn't happening. It's easier to tell my kids that than really what really happened. What I think happened, but I think I would have thought something.
Jones tells Levi he has some questions about all those women.
You know, it's probably due to what it looks like is some you got so many crazy girlfriends. I mean, you're like, you don't even remember, you got so many, you don't even remember their names.
I told you that. How am I being going back?
You're like a major Romeo, dude. Like everybody.
A Major Romeo who said he still cared for his wife, despite all those infidelities.
She was my partner, man. Like,
who?
Tara. Like, we might not have been in love, but...
Business partner, or parent raising partner, or...
Second partner.
Well, it almost looked like she was your nanny.